to his next classes for salsa, right? Great. So yeah, I think I'll have to come to one of your salsa classes too. Yeah. So thank you again. So so we're on to our second speaker. She very kindly also made the poster of today's artwork, which of course, thank you, Gianne. Yeah. Which I didn't laminate and bring, and I'm so sorry about that. I got really busy. And But I'm really excited to have you. You're a performer and a wellness entrepreneur. So so why don't we all welcome Gianne?
Hello, my name is Gianne. I'm born and raised here in Hong Kong, so English is not my first language, so I brought a little note here. I hope you don't mind. So I hope I won't be, boring you with my life story today. I do have a lot to share. At the end, I just hope I will be able to tell you how my depression got me into starting my first business, and how finding happiness in life helps me to get to where I am today. This is the right slide. So when people ask me, Gianne, what do you do? It's quite difficult for me to explain because I do wear different hats. And so I'll just do a quick, brief introduction into what I really do. So on a daily basis, I work with my business partner, which she's also here supporting me today, Candice. So we started Lexi Media Creative Solutions, and I also founded Count & Co on my own. I'm also helping out in Inspiring Girls charity, and I also have a podcast channel that I talk about my mental health and my startup journey. And so I guess that's basically what I mainly do. And I know it's a lot, I really do, but I hope after listening to my story, you get why I have so much passion in life. We can go to the next slide, thank you. Yes. So before I started this, slasher or entrepreneur journey, I actually wasn't like this. Like I'm, like bubbly and happy. I'm not like this. I was suffering from 10 years of depression, and I did not take any medication on that, and I did not see any therapist or psychiatrist. So it sounds bad. It was really bad. I was neglecting my emotions because back at the days, people just don't talk about mental health. So when I discovered I had depression, my parents were like, oh, my daughter is crazy. No, she can't take those medicine, because if she take those medicine, she is a crazy people. And I was like, oh, okay. If my dad says no, then I will not take the medications, because I was 16, so I didn't know what's right or wrong. I just listened to them, and because they weren't educated on mental health, so I don't blame them for that, but that's what happened. 10 years, I didn't know what happened to me. I would be so emotional, I would suddenly cry, and the next few seconds I could be back to happy mode again, and I don't know what's wrong with me. So 10 years I've not been a good person, and I wasn't welcome to wherever I go. When I was in school, I get bullied, and people don't like who I am. And I know the reason is that I don't like myself as well. So for 10 years, I have a love and hate relationship with myself. I know that I can do a lot. At the same time, my emotions were controlling me, that I feel like I can't do a lot because I could be so angry all the time, and the whole day would be just angry at everything. And so it stopped me from pursuing the dreams that I would like to chase for. So I actually went to the Hong Kong Academy for Performing Arts for 1 semester. And due to my mental health, I had to quit the school, and I switched to my second passion. I went to early childhood education and go for early childhood education teacher license. So I thought spending my entire life with little kids, I would be happy because I love seeing kids. And so I thought I would go for being a kindergarten teacher. But then now I'm totally not doing education to kids, but another way I was telling my mental health story. And fast forward to the end of 2019, stepping into 2020, so right before COVID starts, that's where I founded my first company called Count & Co. At that time, I was selling CBD. It was just 3 years ago, and it was my first business, which was also my side business, because at that time, I still have a day job. So the reason why I started CBD is because, of course, I've been suffering 10 years from depression, and one of the symptoms of depression is that people also have insomnia. People aren't able to sleep, and unfortunately, I'm one of them. And at that time, CBD really helped me to go through this. And since my business started exactly the same time as COVID strikes, and at that time, it was actually the perfect time to launch such a product in the wellness industry, because COVID kind of like made people sad and stressed and depressed, and CBD is kind of like the cure to it. So for a year, 2020, my business was actually doing really good. You can see like CBD coffee shops around or massage, and it was appearing everywhere. And so it was doing good for just 1 year. And at that point, after I started for a year, I was thinking, no matter how good I'm doing and no matter which magazine featured my business, I just feel like it wasn't enough. It's not about how much I'm earning. It's not about who know this brand or who tag my brand. I keep measuring my success by measuring to the milestone or ladder that people climb. And the point is, I still feel not enough because inside I just don't feel enough for myself. And this is the problem that I've been neglecting for 10 years. My brand and community, we vouch for the importance of mental health. We talk about self-care and self-love. And the funny thing is, behind this brand, I'm the one doing marketing, social media, website, packaging, product, even shipping them out. So it was quite stressful because don't forget, I do have a day job at that time. And at weekends, I go to pop-up markets as well, and I go networking. So it's crazy. I get so busy, and at the same time, I was actually really frustrated at myself because I'm talking about importance of mental health, but I wasn't taking care of myself at all. So therefore, at that time, I knew that my mentally wasn't ready for me to have a business and have a day job. And no matter how good it may seem on the outside, I know that I need to fix something that's wrong on the inside. So I keep thinking, what's wrong with me? Why am I not happy? People should be happy if they have their own business, right? But why am I not satisfied with myself? So I keep thinking back, what happened in this 10 years? Was I neglecting something? And there are just things that I feel like, I've never processed. Like sometimes my boyfriend would just come to me and talk about family issues. And I realized I've never, fixed my relationship with my dad because for 10 years I've been suffering from depression because my dad wasn't happy with my sexuality. And he found out that I was dating girls when I was in high school. So I came from a really, traditional Asian parent background. And when my dad figured out her daughter likes a girl, it was like crazy for his world. And therefore he and I had a just rough 10 years of relationship. I tried to hide everything from him. I tried not to tell him anything. And he tried to sneak into my room and take my phone and, look at my messages. And then we just fight all night, and it went for years. And after I moved out, I thought, okay, no more spending time with daddy, then it's all right. But I didn't know that these feelings were never processed, and I never really think about the entire thing of why it happened, why my dad would do this, where is his insecurities and where are my insecurities. And after, COVID strikes, thanks to COVID, it actually gave me a lot of time because I get more time to spend on my own. I can't see my friends, I can't go out. And I started to look internal, really look into myself. What's wrong with, Gianne? And the more time I get to spend with myself, the less lonely I feel. Because when it was back then, when I was in high school, I just feel so intimidated when I was alone, when there is no friends around. I would look in the room and see, can I go over there and sit there? I would just be so afraid to be alone because, again, I don't love myself. But yeah, COVID strikes, and I started to realize that my emotions are a problem if I don't get to understand them, if I don't get to process my emotions. And there I met my partner, same year, and he helped me really cut away a lot of unnecessary social circles, because sometimes I would just go and hang out with my friends, and when I'm home, I'm just not enjoying the whole conversation. I don't know why the girls are gossiping. I don't know why we're talking about how much they earn. I just don't enjoy the conversation, and I don't like who I spend my time with. So I started to think I should really detox whom I spend my time with, because you just got so much energy a day, and you don't want to, spend time with people that might make you feel sometimes a little stressed after you listen to them. But of course, I also reflected on who I wanted to be when I'm with people, like who I wanted to present, how I wanted to present myself. And so during my whole healing journey, I also actually have to face the banning of CBD. So a year my business was good, and I was kind of, internalizing my feelings. And then suddenly the government was announcing another regulation, the ban of CBD, and that means, I have to say goodbye to the first business that I started. And at the beginning, I really felt it was like a bad breakup that I'm going through. I'm crying, looking at all my products, and I was like, I can't sell them anymore. But I know it's time to, let go. I did, had, I think, a few weeks of time that I need to, get through the feeling, but at that time, I was thinking, I mustn't be the only one going through this, right? There must be, someone going through the same journey with me. So at that time, I created a CBD WhatsApp info group. I added the entrepreneur that were in the same industry with me, that were known as my competitor, but whatever. At that time, I was just saying, hi, this is Gianne. I also own a CBD business, and I created a group. Do you want to join? We'll share news info, and we just want to know what happened. Are the government banning, or are they not? And so I created a group, and in 3 days, I think the group expanded to 60 people. So it was amazing how I can gather, so much people in the same industry, and we were all, talking about whether or not we should continue, because at that time, they still haven't announced the law yet, but they were raiding different stores, and we were panicked. And so in that community, so thankful that I created this group, because I actually met someone who we became friends, and he invested in my business, and where actually pivot my brand. So he told me, among all the CBD brands, I know that your brand has a story because it was linked to your depression story. It's not just a CBD product, but it has something. So he thought my brand would be a good brand to pivot and to, I don't have to only sell CBD, because we can talk about community, we can talk about self-care. And so we had the idea of doing vitamins, and then the idea of doing, vitamin patches. So what's even cooler is that you don't have to, swallow pills. You can just stick a sticker on your skin, and done. And successfully, I pivoted to brand, and same month, actually also met an interesting person, my business partner, Kenneth, which I just introduced. So at the beginning, when we first met, we were meant to work together, because she was a freelancer doing social media, doing ads, and she'll reach out and say, hey, Gianne, I see that Camden Co is doing quite good. Can I help you, do your social media and help you? And I was like, yeah, let's meet for a coffee chat. And by that time, when we had that coffee chat, I actually also resigned from my full-time job, because I wanted to prioritize my mental health, and I was working in quite a toxic workplace. I thought I was working for a friend, and turns out she did not treat me as a friend at all, and it was a tough resignation, I would say, because after I resigned, she also gave me a termination letter, and we went to court for that. But another story. Anyway, back to Candace. When I met her, I wasn't, in a very good mood, and she noticed. When she introduced how she's able to help me with my brand, after she explained the whole story, I was like, Candace, I really want to work with you, but I just kind of, lost my job. Not really lost it, but I resigned. But at the same time, government has been saying that they want to regulate the industry, so I don't know for sure if I have a product for you to sell. But Candace was telling me it's okay, no worries, and then she gave me like a prep talk, and thanks to that, now we started our own creative agency together. It has been a year. I could not imagine what has happened before if I had not met her and if we did not start this together. Because of this support, I'm able to, really connect to what I really wanted to do after all the healing, after all the fixing traumas. I really, get to support myself into chasing my passion. And so earlier this year, I've been reflecting. I've been doing this marketing business with Candace for a year. It has been great. I know what I can do, but what I really wanted to do, I know I can do a lot of things, but then I was thinking, what do I really wanted to do? And so I think when I was in high school, I remember there were a period where I loved doing drama. I was in drama club, and I was doing all the backstage stuff and being an actress, and also were once a director. And now I just seems like I forgot that part of me, and I have not been reconnecting to that side of performer Gianne side for so long. Ever since I was being bullied in high school, I feel like I don't want to show too much of my personality, and so I just did not go for the performer side. I started to act like entrepreneur, dress up and hi, having a meeting people, and I just forgot that I have a fun side, I would say. And so, back to the story, this all happened within 3 years, and I would say if I had not dealt with my mental health, I wouldn't be able to support myself into doing so many different things, chasing hobbies, passions. And at last, I would like to share on what worked for me in dealing with my mental health and how my experience shaped me into who I am today. So the first thing is to find your happiness and prioritize them. So I have a thing with my daily routine now, since I'm doing quite a lot. I try to make myself happy daily, one thing at a time. Say, I love flowers, I would just buy myself a flower. No reason, not Valentine's Day. I don't need a reason to make myself happy, because 10 years of depression, I think I was just really, really, really sad. I didn't see any joy or happiness or rainbow in this world. I just see frustration, I see angry people, I see people shouting at the street. I don't see the beauty of Hong Kong. And one thing I find helpful is that making yourself happy every day and taking the small wins and just try to purposely please yourself. So for me, meditation works, yoga works, moving my body, singing, dancing works. Not sure, I think for everyone it's different, but for me, every day when I wake up in the morning or before I go to bed, I try to sing in the kitchen. I just sing so loud that my partner would wear his AirPods for half an hour, because I was literally practicing opera. And anyway, it makes me happy. And I do know that, I love creating things, and I started my own brand selling phone cases when I was 16. Not only I know that I can create things, I know that I can create a lot of different experience for myself. If I love drama, I would go for an audition, which I just went for an audition this morning for a musical. I haven't done that for 10 years. Yeah. Growing up, I hear people telling me, Gianne, you're too impulsive in making decisions, you're too dramatic, you're too much. And now I just want to say there isn't too much in your life, because at least the second thing I wanted to say is that I think we have to go to the slides. Next. Is to respond to life. There might be signals in your life that you wanted to quit your job, and there might be opportunities that will come suddenly. Maybe you can see an event in the group and you wanted to go for networking, but you feel like you're an introvert. And sometimes you're depressed and you're stuck in a situation where you feel like you can't change anything. But I would say, even for a tough workplace or a bad boss, if you don't enjoy work, it really sucks. So try to, if you're unable to change your situation, try to change how you see the situation. Try to think in a different way. I really like it because when, at a point where I was working for someone that I don't enjoy working, my partner would just tell me, you know, just take this as like a master class. People are paying you to learn from them. Just imagine you're going for a master class, and I was like, yeah, okay, that sounds better. Like, even I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, at least maybe I can learn something from it. And so, I tried working as an art teacher after I took the DSE. I didn't go for university, I just took a gap year, and I tried to, explore different passions. And I've tried so many different things at the back, in the past. An art teacher, and then I went for APA, and then I quit because of my mental, and then I switched university, kindergarten teacher, and I also didn't went for that, and then I went for, I think I went for a flight attendant interview once, and luckily I did not get through that because same year, COVID started, and a lot of people were fired. Lucky me, I get into an education startup where I get to learn a lot from my boss, and where he also inspired me to start Counterco. So I don't see a lot of happenings in the past are wrong mistakes or bad experience, because my parents were definitely judging me when I was switching from 3 university, which, by the way, I still haven't done my bachelor degree yet. It was still on hold because I was starting my business. But no shame, now I don't need any certificate to earn a living. I don't have to tell my parents, whether or not I graduated from university anymore, because now I have my own business, thank God. And at last, I would like to share the last tip is to decondition. Unhook the beliefs that you might have in your life, because there might be, agreements that you made to yourself, but you don't even know where these agreements were made, because everyone were taught in a very different way. And there are oftentimes we talk about, unconscious bias or cognitive bias, because we are conditioned to think in a way we thought everyone should do the same. And there are should-dos, you must do something, or you have to do something. And this, all the limiting beliefs limit what you can do in your life. And if I listen to whomever were teaching me in the past, telling me that I should go for that one path, I wouldn't be who I am today, doing so much. And so right now, I would say, to the last page, I'm truly where I am, doing what I wanted to do. I can work with my friends, I can work for myself, I can choose whom I want to work with, and I can prioritize my mental health. Plus, my work is always, around talking about mental health, opening up difficult conversations, simply, breaking unconscious bias. And I would, normal days I would go to schools and share my life story, like today, to inspire young girls for Inspiring Girls Charity. And, basically, I would say I really enjoy what I'm doing right now, and I hope this story somehow inspire you to find your happiness in life, and hang on in life. I know it's difficult, I've been through a lot, but I see life in a different way now. I'm happy to say that. Thank you.
Just keep going.